All right, all right, all right. If you're just joining us, um, add a little delay here. Oh, that's off. I can turn these all on. What do I get now? All right, that's it's a G&L Legacy Special. You can see right there on the headstock. Very noisy amp, hissy. All right, I'm going to try to lower this a little bit. I feel like the camera's a little further away from me. I don't know. I look like an old man. I'm an old man. It's only going to get worse. All right, who's in the house? Let me see who's already checked in here. All right, good morning. Hey, Zuhair, what's going on? Well, I'm glad you came to say hi. Gary Book in the house. Time to rock. Yeah, let's see. Hey, Sam better be here. He's the one that requested this. Somebody check in with Sam. Bruce, thanks for the text last night. Bruce usually texts me the night before, see if there's any questions or anything on Discord. So I appreciate that. I just don't check into all the socials. You know, if I were a real influencer, I'd be on socials all the time. When Alex was working for Voodoo Lab as head of their social media, man, he had all the my son Alex. He had all of the notifications turned on, you know, for Twitter and for Instagram and for Facebook, and you know, he'd make a post and he'd get 1,000, you know, not 1,000, but 100 notifications. But it would be like, be sitting at dinner and he'd like be on his phone nonstop. He ended up quitting that job just because it just wasn't what he wanted to be doing, concentrate on, and I didn't disagree with that. It paid pretty good. If he had 3 or 4 of those companies, but again, just you'd be nonstop. I don't even know how you keep track of it all. He was doing, at one point he was doing social media for 2 different, a company and a person, and he doesn't do that anymore. So he helps out with Brad's, Brad, I don't know, Brad's here. He helps out with Brad's store in Malibu Music. And so the minor arpeggios are going to be harder in a lot of cases. Now, not arpeggios, but sweeping arpeggios. So we're going to talk a little bit about sweeping. Not something I'm not like super adept at. I can kind of do it. I don't really utilize it very often. Mostly goofing around. Actually, in gypsy jazz, I'm more likely to use it because Django did, and a lot of the Django players do. Let me show you. So, everybody take a sip because I changed guitars. I'm not that old yet. Man, I'll be 65 next year. Got some tuning issues here. But the minor chord, obviously, I'm not a fan of snark tuners, I have to tell you. Nothing. Battery's good. Nothing. This old tuner, I wish they still made these IntelliTouches. The only problem is the headstock is really thick on this. Works like a charm. Let's try. this amp here real quick because it's hissy. I got to turn on the noise gate. Okay, oh, sorry. Got to organize my windows. All right. So much of gypsy jazz is in minor keys. And there's a couple of minor sweeps that I will utilize. One is fairly easy, one is pretty difficult, and I'm not even sure if I can do it super fast or not, but like for an F minor, I don't even know if I would say like sweep. Maybe coming down I might sweep it. But basically the shape I'm playing, imagine a C chord and you just play the 5th string, the 4th string, and the 3rd string. And that's a C major chord. If you take that E natural down to E flat, you get C, E flat, G. It's kind of that shape. Okay? So if I were to go up to C sharp, D minor, that's the beginning of it. So F minor would be this. It would be on the 5th string, it would be the 8th fret, then the 6th fret, then the 4th fret, and then the 6th fret. And then down here, ultimately it's a 5 fret. And you can even do something like that. And I'm pulling off on this here, but so to finish it again, so 8, 6, 5, 6, 4, 8. It's a handful. That's not an easy thing, but that's a sweep I might use. Another thing I might do in C minor, well, I could do this in any key, I suppose, but C minor kind of laid nice. So if you imagine this C minor chord here, okay, the bar chord, and again, I'm just kind of giving you a grounding in uses for sweeps at this moment. We'll get more into the technique in a second, and I've got the major cage shapes here for a reason, and you can even kind of see the use of that C major here. We made it C minor. You can see that. It's not easy to play some of the shapes, the cage shapes in minor. The cage shapes are all major, but C minor, like that one's easy, and this one's easy. This one, no, it's not. It's like I've got a minor, an E flat there, and an E natural there. I can't. I need 6 fingers to play this. So, and then this shape obviously is not going to work. So, yeah, there's a lot of shapes that are not necessarily conducive to be going from major to minor easily. So, but if we're playing individual notes, it's less of an issue. It's the whole chording thing and visualizing the fretboard. Generally, why people use the major shapes, the cage shapes, to visualize the fretboard. And that's the main reason to learn it, is to help you with rhythm playing and to help you with soloing, both. All right? And each position, each shape has its own kind of built-in, set of licks that just are really, the shape is friendly to, and the licks feel natural to, or the shape lended very heavily to the creation of the phrase or the riff or whatever, like that's a very E-centric thing. It's not that lick isn't as natural in the A form as it is in the E form. And so that's, yeah, again, each one of the shapes has its own set of riffs that tend to naturally flow from it or are naturally played over them. So so the C minor thing I was talking about, like this, and the reason I chose C minor is because it's fairly far up the fretboard, because it's going to be quite a reach. And I would do this thing melodically a lot of times. I would do like, if I'm playing over, you know, something like that, where it's just this, basically it's just a chromatic scale. Where I'm alternating the fifth of the note. So I'm playing the root, fifth, root, major seventh, fifth, major seventh, minor seventh, fifth, minor seventh, major sixth, fifth. Sorry, I'm raising my eye. I do that when I'm playing something. Then I go six, flat, six, and maybe sit on that, you know. Oh, hey, Sam. Thank you, Bruce. Yeah, Sam, this is for you. I'm talking about sweeps. So the lick that that is basically the same, doing that chromatic thing, but instead of having as a root the fifth, I'm using the whole C minor triad. I use this on a somebody feed Phil thing. I don't know if anybody's watched that show, Somebody Feed Phil, but I did some music for them. I don't know if it's made it on any of the multitude of things that they're doing. You know, they've got did a lot of music for their social media stuff just recently. But so what I'm doing there is I'm just playing 10th fret, 8th fret, 8th fret. You know, I'm not doing the first string, but, and I'm keeping them short. I'm not going. So it's not easy. It's almost like I'm playing a major drive, where I'm as soon as I'm done playing the note, I'm taking my finger off. So, but you can just practice that. Now the timing of it, like sweeps can be done so fast. I mean, they're still going to have note value. Okay. So that was a quarter note. I'm thinking 1, 2. So if that's 1 and this is 2, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes. So that's a triplet 16th, or is that called a septuplet? Septuplet, maybe. I think that's right. Septuplet. Yeah, triplet would be just 8th notes. Septuplet would be 16th notes, I think. So, so written, that would be basically the 6 notes, basically just a major, not scale, major chord, okay? Major chord, just C, E, G, C, E, G, C. Until you have C, E, G, there's 3. C, E, G, there's another 3, and here's the last C. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the notes do have value. I'm not just it's not just what I would call a rake. A rake would be more like that, where I would get dead. like that, and then I'd have one note that I want to land on. Those are called rakes. You're just raking the strings. It's like raking with a rake on it. And that's a super handy tool to have in your toolbox because it creates kind of an impending, a sense of urgency to have a rake, acoustic or electric, you know. You can use it too much. It's like when you get that, oh, I got an auto-wah, and you use it on every song. It's like nobody wants to hear auto-wah on every song. Oh, I got this phase shifter that makes the sound upside down and backwards, you know. I got this sitar pedal, and it's like no one wants to hear a sitar pedal all the time. Hey, Ryan, good to see you. So this little, technically, it's kind of the same. Those are technically one and dun, 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 and two and dun, 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 dun. So those are also septuplets. So I'm not just going. It's not a rake. So, like I said, it's not easy. It took me a minute to get it down. And I'm using an upstroke on those high notes. And again, the high notes are C, 13th fret, all on the second string, 12th fret, 11th fret, and 10th fret. You can even go down to this. Be a nice way to get to the F minor chord from the C minor chord. And so what I'm doing is I'm down, 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 but I'm kind of, I'm trying not, I'm not going for, it's not a bad sound in its own, but it's not what I'm going, you know, like, I almost want to sound muted. Because I want that note on top to pop, right? And if I really were trying to make it legitimate, gypsy, I would try to give a little bit more vibrato to that. The video will be up. The chat, I think, doesn't show up for like 24 hours or something, okay? So if there's something in the chat you want to reference, then you may want to wait 24 hours. And I'm almost out of coffee. You know, when I bought the coffee today, it was only this full. I'm like, why did you? I didn't ask for a grande in a venti cup. 1-star review. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I'm using the smallest, that's about the smallest a sweep can be is 3 notes, I would say. And again, I'm going on my picking hand over here, down and then up. You'll get it once and you'll be like, wait, I just did it. What did I do? And then you won't be able to do it for another 5 times or 10 times or 50 times. And then you'll finally get it. It's kind of like the first time you get a pitch harmonic. And I apologize. This is pretty advanced stuff here. So for the F minor one, and again, you can kind of see why I chose this chord, the C minor, because it's way up here. If I did G minor, it'd be quite a stretch. I could do it, because again, we don't need these notes to ring out. So once I play that triad, I can move my hand up here if I want. And you don't have to do that particular lick. You could just do the first part of it. I know you just use it as a kind of a way to get into a thing, but I just love that it's something that Django did. Like, so he would have done. I mean, I don't even know how Django would have done it. He would have done something like that, but he totally. I'm talking because Django only had 2 fingers, so. Yeah, don't ever complain. I never complain. I was like, yeah, I only hate Django. Django had already been playing. He was already technically a professional musician, and it's 18 on his wedding night. He was in a fire, and oh, thanks, Bruce. Sorry about that. We pinned that Discord link. Where is it? Here we go. Hey, everybody, good to see you. All right, here's the copy. Paste. We're getting some people viewing. Good to see you all. Pin message. I think that's right. Yep, there it is. All right, thanks, Bruce. So that's one use for sweeps. Okay, and that's not a use you would naturally think. When you think sweeps, most people are thinking heavy metal. All right. So everybody, take a sip. I'm going to change guitars. One of the rules in our drinking game, when I change guitars, if I drop a pick, is that 2 sips? Is that right? Oh no, I say I need this unmuted, and I need to go here and turn on the gate. The gate's. Why is it? Wait, noise gate. Boy, it is not. That's crazy. That's with the noise gate on, it's that hissy. All right. And again, I don't use a lot of sweeping, but so I did kind of come up with this thing. I should probably do a lesson on it. Not that I don't know that it's particularly useful. Let me do more lessons on non-useful things. But that little snippet there, that thing I just was doing, I have used. Also, one thing I've done is like, and I'm going to show you what I'm thinking about and where I came up with those notes, because that's kind of the key. And I may need a clean sound to do this. So let me go with my Pat Metheny sound. How about that? Wow, that's a lot quieter than the... Okay, I'm going to have to turn down this one. Oh yeah, that one's way cranked. Okay. So here's... So this, like, play this F major 7 chord, okay? It's 3rd fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 1st fret on the 2nd string, and open E string. Kind of like Color My World, but only, I think Color was in C, okay? Okay, now if I were to play that anywhere else on the fretboard, I'd need 4 fingers. That would be F sharp, major 7. So I got pinky, 4th finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and 1st finger on the 19th fret of the 87th string. All right. Hey, 6-9 is in the house. Okay, so I just keep moving that up there. I go take that all the way up to the 7th fret, and now I'm at C major 7. Color my work. Why did I cut out? Beth lost power at school. Oh, that's weird. All right, try this sound. Suddenly nothing. Weird. That's weird. I turn off the channel and I get. Oh, oh, unbelievable. This sound is Guitar Rig 5, really? Okay. All right, go away. Exit. Exit. That's what it was. It was just, I hate that the software updates, creates a new software, and then the old one, they don't support it anymore, so I can't, well, how do I get all the sounds that I saved? All of those sounds that I saved there. Kind of makes me not want to use Guitar Rig, but sounded like I probably updated it. And this session goes from way back, but the interesting thing is, in fact, see, that doesn't sound right. It's too bright. The interesting thing is that Guitar Rig 7 to me doesn't sound at all like Guitar Rig 6. So I'm worried if Guitar Rig 6 stops working, I'm going to be stuck with Guitar Rig 7 that to me doesn't sound as good. Like the basic Fender Twang reverb amp. Okay, so I've got this major 7 thing. It's a little loud. I've got this major 7, C major 7 chord, and I go, oh, you know, I could go up to the 9th there. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. What could I go down to on this string? Oh, I could go down to the 6th or the 13th. Keep in mind, when I'm doing that, I'm playing 6 different notes. So I'm literally playing 6 of the 7 notes in a C major scale. So I'm going to go slow so you can see it. So I'm at the 7th fret on the 4th string. Then I'm at the 10th fret. So 2 notes on the 4th string. Then 9th fret, 8th fret on the 3rd string, 2nd string. And then on the 1st string, I'm at the 7th fret and then 10th fret. So it's the same. On the outside strings, it's the same. Now, just playing that there, it's interesting to me how I'm playing this, picking it. I'm using alternating picking going up, but I'm tending to use economy picking. I always want to say efficient picking. Sam's here, so he'll fix it. But no, that's believe it or not, I have a JC12 or 120. That's just a Fender Twin, but I got all the tone rolled off. Okay, now if I want to play that fast though, I'm going to hammer on that note and then sweep those 3. And then I'm going to pluck, so I'm getting a lot of, you'll notice that a lot of sweep players will use string mutes. They may have something mounted here because it's hard not to generate other sounds. A lot of times, a lot of the players, they play with a very light touch. I'm trying to do that more, believe it or not, at 64 years old, having played for, 55 years. I'm trying to change how I play a little bit. But I'm definitely, when I'm recording, I'm trying to play close mic a little bit better. I feel like the guitar sounds better. Everything sounds better generally. And I love the sound of the pick and everything. That may get passe at some point. I may go back to miking far away and playing hard. But right now, to me, like especially for solo acoustic stuff, playing softer and picking. And I notice through the years working with a lot of singers, some singers sing loud. A lot of the most fluid singers, the singers that can do the biggest riffs like Mariah Carey or whatever, they're actually singing really quiet in the microphone. And it allows them, it's the same thing as having low action and playing with light touch. The problem is if you're playing very quietly, any strings that accidentally ring out are going to be maybe as loud as the strings you're playing. And so it's like, you know, it's not going to work. So you'll see some players that tend to do a lot of that kind of playing. They'll have a mute on this fret, maybe at the first fret or something. And I will do that sometimes if I'm doing things where I don't need any open strings, and I'm doing something really, really complex or whatever. I want it to be as clean as possible. So, okay. So I'm hammering that note 7 to 10. And then what I'm doing is I'm doing it. Can't remember this though. It's the same exact action. I'm doing this little E minor triad like Sam pointed out, and then I'm adding that D there, and then once I've done that, now I'm going to pull off back to the B. So I'm kind of going to do the opposite of what I did here. This was a hammer on. Good. And then I'm going to do. So I pull off there, and then I'm going to play a C triad, okay? So if I play the top 3 strings of that C major 7 chord, I get an E minor. If I play the next 3 down, that's a C major. And then I'm going to, so that's going to be up, 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 and then I'm going to go down on that. That's the sweep. Up, up, up. Technically, anytime you do two ups in a row or 2 downs in a row, I guess you could call that a sweep. I usually think of it as being more like 3 notes. If you're doing 3 notes, 2. I guess you could think of it. I guess you could think of that as a sweep, but for some reason I just think of it more like 3 notes. My right hand, when I do it, it looks really fluid, and it's kind of cool. The first time you do it, you're like, what? Wait, what did I just do? You know, I can't do it again. It does take a minute to kind of get, not a minute, it takes a while to get to there, but it does kind of have this nice. The left hand is going crazy, but the right hand looks like it's barely doing anything. It's like a 10-year-old kid playing banjo, and you're like, his right hand is so fast. Left hand's not doing anything. He's like, and right hand's like, you know, doing that. All right. Enough of my envy of young banjo players that can shred. And I feel like the sweeping thing is kind of one of those things you'll get in little chunks, right? Like, that's why I showed you this loop. Because these are short little spurts. You know, we call them snippets, right? They're short little spurts. I think they're a little bit easier. Yeah, you could switch to your LP, your Les Paul for this. I never play my Les Paul. I should hang it on the wall. Maybe I'll use it every now and then. I got my SG, but again, it's like little baby steps. And so this. Now, let me just kind of finish the thought on this one, and then we'll woodshed this concept a little bit more. We're probably going to be spending a couple weeks on this because I haven't even touched on the major, you know, suites. But again, a lot of the technique that allows you to do the little short ones, you know, this are similar to what, you know, what we're going to be doing there. It's just a matter of memorizing some shapes and some prepositions. And anyway, so. All right. I'm not gonna do lessons on tapping because that's just not something I ever, I remember like when Larry Carlton did it on Kid Charlemagne's solo, and I was like, whoa. And Eddie did it, of course, was the first that a lot of people heard doing it. So let's see. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm doing Samuel appreciates this. I'm doing a harmonic. This basically I'm harmonizing a C major scale. So I've got a C here. That's a C. Everybody, put your pinky on the 10th fret of the 4th string. You may not be able to do this on acoustic, so you may not be able to go very far. 10th fret is C. 12th fret is D. A whole step up. 14th fret is E. Half step up is F. And I'll just go this far for now, but all right. And so what I'm doing is when I'm playing this chord, I'm just playing every other third in the scale. This is C. I'm skipping D. This is E. I'm skipping F. This is G. I'm skipping A. This is B. The next chord or the next note in C, in the key of C, is D. And so if I do D and skip E, I get F. If I skip G and get A, and if I skip B, I get C. So they get this. So technically, that's a D minor 7 chord, and that's one that's very easy to play on piano, but on guitar, that's pretty difficult. So that's E minor 7. So I'm at top 4 strings, 4th string, 12th fret, 10, 10, 8. All right. If I do that to E, go up another note in the scale. I've got E, G. I skip, skip F. Got G. Skip A. Got B. Got D. Exact same shape. That's an E minor 7 chord. All right. But it's lined up in a manner that we can do a sweep on it. Now you're like, well, Tom, how can I throw my second and third finger and get my fingers in I won't play it like that. Ultimately, I won't play it like that. Okay? But for now, I want you to visualize these. And then there's E minor 7, D minor 7, F, or C major 7. Okay. If I go up one more note to F, and I skip G, I get A. I skip B, I get C. I skip D, I get E. Look at that. It's the exact same shape. And that's just pretty. You could do that all day long. That's the 1 chord. That's the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5? Nope. 5 chord is the same, except you bring the first finger down a fret. You play an F instead of an F sharp. There's no F sharp in the key of C. So what I'm doing, I got G. I'm skipping A, B. Skipping C, I got D. Skipping E, I get F. Okay. Now, when I played the C major 7 arpeggio thing, the sweeping thing, I took this shape, I went this shape, I went down one more, and I went up one more. From the bottom note, I went down one more, and from the top note, I went up one more, okay? Oh yeah, no, I wish somebody would ask him, my friend Mason, Vertex guy, I don't know if he's interviewed Carlton yet, but I told him to ask Larry, did you write that solo, or was that 100% improvised on the spot? Now, keeping in mind, Larry was very, very good friends with, no, actually it was Dean Parks who was very good friends with, who's the good, Walter Becker. In fact, one of the composers I've been working for the longest, and I've written millions of songs with, we talk to each other every week. We work together all the time. My friend Jim lived next door to Dean Parks, and Jim still lives where he's always lived. Dean sold that house, but Walter Becker rented the apartment upstairs in Jim's house so he could be close to Dean Parks because they were like best friends. And so I didn't know all those times I was going over to Jim's house to play guitar that Walter Becker was just upstairs doing these sessions at his studio, and there's Walter Becker. I had no idea. I never saw him, but he would have had to go out the back. He would have had to. I remember how he would get out of that apartment, but but yeah, the Kid Charlemagne solo is every note's perfect. Every note's perfect. It's so brilliant, and it's not just scale tones or chord tones. It's interesting tones as well. So, okay. So with the C major 7, remember I went skipping notes. I'm playing thirds. This is a third. This is a third. This is a third. I'm skipping the in-between notes. So we're here at B. I skip C and go to D, and I'm down here on C and I skip B and go to A. Okay, so I'm playing again 10th fret. I'm sorry, 7th fret, 10th fret, 9, 8, 7, 10. Okay, now if I go to the next one, which was this one. Okay, if I take this D and I go down, D, next one below is C, then skip that, go to B. I get this note, B, D, and I'm going to use my second finger and I'm going to bar these two notes. So I have B, D, F, A, C, and then E. So it's kind of just a matter of memorizing these shapes, because they're going to, even though this shape and this shape are the same, the notes around it or below it and above it are going to be different than with the D. So if I tell you the frets here, it's 9, 12, 10, 10, 8, 12. Sound. It's really pretty. I would be mortified if somebody put it on a chart for me to read during a session. I would totally not be able to play it. It's just funny. If I could do it on my own. Okay. Now, for the E minor 7 chord, okay, I've got E on the bottom here. If I go down, skip that D note and go to C, then I'm good. Technically, it's the same as those notes of the C chord. And then if I go from D, skip E, and go to F, it's interesting. That's an F natural over the E minor arpeggio. It's a little weird. But the F sharp, which may sound a little bit more pretty, is out of the key. So I'm just trying to stay within the key. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Thanks, Gary. I don't have notifications turned on for anybody, but I usually see stuff like that. And again, I'm hammering on. I'm starting with an up pick, I think. Hammer on, then doing the 3 down, and up. Oh, sorry. And again, I'm playing those 2 notes that we played like this. I'm playing with just my second finger laying down. I'm just doing that. Make it sound so simple. Okay, now the cool thing is the F1 is the same as the C1. Music theory wise, I'll explain what I'm doing here. There's F, skip E, there's D, D, F, A, C, E, G. So what can happen is, like, you memorize those shapes. I can do it in any key. G. No, I can't. And you could even think of it as, like if I'm back in the key of C here, I'm actually harmonizing from this A minor this way too. It doesn't really matter what note you visualize as you're harmonizing in the arpeggio, because the rules are all going to stay the same. Every note I'm playing here are all, in this case, all notes in the key of C. Now, so I might use that in I don't even know what this is. A blues. I don't know how, if I would use that particular sweep idea on blues. I might use it. I need a better sound than that, though. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, I mean, I might use sweeps. They would just show up sparingly. I would not do. I don't think I would do that on blues context. I just don't. I mean, so back to Pat. Oh, 715 does this. Yeah, I'm sure I've watched the What Makes a Song Great. Yeah, Kid Charlemagne's. And for me, the best part of that song is the solo. I do love the interview he did. He talked a lot about Steely Dan in his interview with not Victor Feldman. Who's the producer? Did like Amy Grant and. The Christopher Cross producer. Who was that? Blue Note. And that Now I could do that major too. Wouldn't. It's kind of the jury's out whether. Like whether I would use the minor arpeggio or minor triad or major. And that's something that I might do. Again, the tone is kind of funky, but and I'm going to show you that one too. Where I'm kind of using a pentatonic scale, but in this case I was using more of a, like the B.B. King, the sixth. Instead of the pure D minor pentatonic, I use more of a called happy pentatonic. We've talked all about those. We did whole lessons on pentatonic scales, but I might. And those are like backwards rakes, right? So like I said, rakes. I'll do rakes all day long on blues. Was it true? I don't know about B.B. King not play chords. He didn't really have to. He sang. He was a singer, and he played lead. I mean, the blues players, the greats, could make 2 notes, 3 notes, 4 notes, and that's all they needed. They didn't need really any more than that. I had a teacher, Carl Verheyen, for a while, and he would talk about that. Like, you really need to learn like how they play, like the way they approach the guitar, like Albert King and B.B. King, and I don't know. I'm sure he didn't mention Stevie Ray Vaughan, but just all the greats of the day, and it was true. Like listen to B.B. King, it's totally different than Albert King or whoever. So. But the rake thing, which is kind of like a sweep, but I'm actually, like, when I land on that note, and you have to be careful with a rake. I'm going to show you a problem that rakes can have. Like, if I'm playing the key of D, and I do a rake, I don't want to have my finger that's laying down, that's deadening the strings. All right, because that's basically what a rake is. You find a note you want to land on, and then you just deaden all the strings. You'll notice that I've kind of got my hand at an angle, right? See my first finger here is kind of at an angle because it's much more difficult to generate harmonics. If I put it in a straight line and say I want to get a C sharp, I'm going to get all those harmonics. Maybe what you want. Kind of cool in its own way. Inventing as I go. But I generally try to make sure I avoid any place that might generate harmonics, which is all over the guitar, but you're less likely to get them if your finger's kind of laying at an angle. You're definitely less likely to get them if you use 2 fingers for a rake. Yeah, I can rake all day long. If I got 2 fingers on there, you're not going to generate. It's always going to be dead, even if I'm right on the... See, if I just have 1 finger down, sorry, I'm flipping you off. But if I put 2 fingers in. Okay? So let that be a lesson to you. Hey, Richard Abdul, or I always say Abdul. Abul. Richard Abul. Dennis, good to see you. Yes, what time is it where you are? It's 6:15? 7:15? When do we change our clocks? That's probably October. We gain an hour. Yeah, I like that one. Here, yeah, 1915. Okay, I got to do my math. So take away 12, and then, so that's 7:15. All right, 1915. 1915 is a year, not a time of day. 1915. Well, it's World War I there. It's like, I'm so American. I'm not apologizing. Yep, 8:15 in the UK. All of the UK or just some of the UK? Dinner time in the UK is not, in other words. Yeah, America, we do the whole AM PM thing. Yep, exactly, Richard. Root. And so back to that, like, I could harmonize all the way up that scale, okay, that I was doing the C major. So the G one is 14th fret, 17th fret, 16, 15, 13, 17. And that's just like a G13th chord. It's like got everything in it, man. And then the A minor one is kind of cool because it's symmetrical. So it's 5 fret stretch, then 2 notes, and then a 5 fret stretch. So we have, if I were to play it down here, again, I'm thinking of that note as being the root. I'm playing 3, 7, 5, 5, 3, 7. The other minors were like this, and then the opposite, right? So I had a 3 note, a 3 fret, and a 4 fret change, and then it was 4 and 3, and then this one was 4 and 4. Another one, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can think of it as 5 frets. Yeah, 5 fret, 5 fret. This would be a 4 fret, 5 fret, 5 fret, 4 fret, 4 fret, 4 fret, 4 fret, 5 fret, 5, 5, and then the diminished one would be, oh, no. And that actually, I should probably work on that for playing over like a 7th chord, because that actually, because if I go down to that, what technically in my head is the 13th or the 6th, that's be the root of the G, and I end up on the 4, which is a C, which is a little weird, but so like if I were playing over this. Now, that whole approach, okay, and the skill I got from doing that, and I came up with this decades ago. Like, that whole harmonization sweeping thing I came up with decades ago, and I'm not even sure why I did it or what prompted it, or was I trying to imitate somebody? I don't know. But it can be applied to a lot of things, and you can see like a lot of pentatonics, you know, like, you know, I will use that, the technique I learned from just getting this down. There we go. Like, for example, if I want to create kind of a harmonic minor sound, over, say, A. I love the sound of this. Check this out. And so what I'm playing is technically it's kind of an A minor with a major seventh, or A Dorian with a major. I don't want to bog you. There's not going to be a quiz on any of this, okay? But over the A, I'm playing 4th fret to the 7th fret, then 5/5, and then 4/7. So there's a certain symmetry to it. I'm 4/7, 4/7 with this in here. You getting dizzy G's or G? No. Okay, and then also I almost the same lick, except instead of laying down the 2nd finger, I'm laying down the 3rd finger. And I found that that worked also over this. So if I ever needed something that was kind of harmonic minor sounding, what does it sound like with gain? This. I usually think of harmonic minor as having a flat 6. They're coming to play there. But I'm playing a major 6 there. Mainly because what I'm kind of more of a jazzy context. I feel like that's a jazzier thing. And if I needed something to play over this chord. Okay, so that's like a D9 with a sharp 11 or flat 5. So it perfectly outlines it. So that D9 flat 5 is X 5 4 5 5 4, like that. And you know, sometimes you need a starter over a chord. You're like, oh, what do I do over that chord? It's kind of like the I just recently learned from augmented chords can be kind of hard to play over too. And I learned this cool scaled riff from Robin Ford. Usually if it's going to a minor, like A7 sharp 5 to D minor. You know, especially kind of in the blues context. I'm trying to learn it in all the positions, you know, or in all the keys. Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with sweeps. All right, what time is it? Oh gosh, I've been going an hour. Okay, I got a late start. I'll save the big for next week. Okay, we'll start talking about those things. They give me a chance to practice. Not that I'm not practicing the whole time we're together. That's all I'm really doing. You're watching me practice is essentially what's happening. Half the time when we're doing stuff, I'm learning things right alongside you. When we did the bluegrass thing, that was the whole point of it. It was like, hey, let's learn some bluegrass songs. It wasn't let's learn some bluegrass songs. I want to learn some bluegrass songs. So let's see. Oh, sorry. Sam Stamos, will these shapes be posted in Discord? No, I don't think so. I mean, I would have. Maybe I can do that. To create this diagram right here. Yeah, it would take me a minute, but maybe I could do that. I would need a lot of frets. Well, let's see. If I made that bottom fret the 7th fret, technically I might be able to do all the arpeggios. I don't know. Let me think about that, Sam. I understand. You'd love to have something. I personally think you could figure it out. I know you could. Like I said, I would just start with those shapes. 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Work your way all up and down the scale. Right? Yeah. I'm not sitting the best way for this, but and this is, I'm in the key of G here, but work those, find those, and then all you have to do then is find the 2 outside notes. Whoops, no. No. And add those to the chord shape. And that's what I'm doing. So if I did it in the key of F, let's see. If I did it in the key of, I guess I could, do I have 12, 13, 14, 15? I'm on the 16th. So I need one more fret if I were to just do the key of G. But I felt like the key of C is a little bit, for one thing, it's smaller. And it's the key of C. So the frets are smaller, but it is a problem for somebody that doesn't have an electric guitar. I mean, even if you had a cutaway acoustic, it would be hard to do the key of C all the way up. So yeah, let me see if I can do that. I mean, I'm sure I would have to come up with different colors for each. Well, I probably just do 2 colors, just like red and green or something like that. Make it Christmassy. Alternate the colors so you could easily see the arpeggios. Would that help? I could probably do that. So give me a minute once we get off air, and I'll see if I have something on my laptop that's already, this thing, and I can repurpose that right there for. I don't know where that is. I may have to redo it, but yeah, you get the idea. I'll figure it out. So it's not that much work, Sam. Like I said, you could do it. The problem is the way I'm doing it. I'm literally, doing it in. Essentially, I'm using Pages. I'm doing it in like basically a Word doc. So I don't have like some kind of graphic software program. I just downloaded Dorico, which is the replacement for what's it called? Finale. And it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, I started working on a tutorial, and it makes sense. It's similar to Finale, so I'm like, okay, I can figure this out for basic stuff. And I'll have to watch some videos because I'm going to need some tab and stuff like that. And Finale still works, and I can still use Finale, but they don't support it anymore, which means as I update my computer, I'm probably not, Finale's going to become one of those softwares that's like faded and has an X through it. Like, you can't use this software anymore because it doesn't work on your computer. I'm like, built-in obsolescence drives me crazy. I have a hammer I bought when I was 17 years old. It still works. Heck, I've got a car I bought 15 years ago and it still works. It's 10 years older than any of my computers. Um, a hammer, you say? Yes, a hammer, I say. Well, heck, I've got guitars from the 1920s, and they still work. What's the deal? Why can't you have a computer that just keeps working without having to cost you anything? I could use Canva. Canva, is that a yeah? I went ahead and paid for Dorico. I got the pro version, so I can do whatever. If I want to do orchestra scores, I could technically do it. I probably didn't need to pay for that big upgrade, but it was normally like $750, and because I was a Finale owner and user, I could get the pro version for $150. The one that really drives me crazy was Final Draft, and Final Draft was like, if you didn't keep it updated, you couldn't open. Final Draft is for writing scripts. You couldn't open old scripts. It was like every time if I did a little bit of work on a script, I had to save it as a PDF because, and even then, it's like if I wanted to make changes, obviously I can't do it in a PDF, not easily. But Final Draft, it works great when you're using it and you're like, wow, when you're writing a script and you've got 20 characters or whatever, and you just start typing their name, it automatically fills it out, and all the parentheticals automatically, you can just, it'll give you all the options really fast. It's super easy, and it does all of the spacing correct and all the all that. But yeah, that's I haven't done it in a while, but that's a hobby of mine, writing scripts. Yeah, maybe I could have chat do it. I hate to use that much electricity, not on my end. At some point, you're going to have to pay for that because chat is like, or something's going to pay. All the information that you're giving them about yourself, that's what's going to pay for it. When am I actually doing a live performance? Oh, I didn't see that question. I play live every weekend at church, but as far as playing out, I don't have any live gigs coming up. I can't think of anything I've got. I went to San Francisco and played with the orchestra in March, but that you couldn't have gone to. Because the tickets were like $2,500. So people really wanted to see me, I guess. I wish I got $2,500. Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, let me check that out. Neck diagrams. Is that a website? Yeah, I figured there would be stuff like that out there. I've done similar stuff. Sometimes it doesn't have the information I like on it, but let me look up diagrams. And is it a pay thing? You have to subscribe. Try it free. See, what's it cost? Let me see. Buy now. Let me just see what it costs. Because that would actually make the most sense to get something like that. Pro, publisher, advanced features for those writing courses, videos, books. Ideal for tutors. Yeah, see, you'd have to get the pro. Yeah. And it's a whole nother thing to learn, but probably not wrong. Let me see. Features. Somebody wants to donate it to me. That would be awesome. Yeah. And yeah, it looks like the kind of stuff a lot of the YouTubers use, which makes complete sense. Oh, you can do flute and stuff like that too. That's kind of cool. Piano. The stick? Really? The Chapman stick is an option? That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to do videos on the Chapman stick. How many people would watch that? Oh, I need to put my Elixir little logo up there. I know. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, where are you, Elixir? All right, I'm going to have to do a search. Elixir. Just need Elixir ping. That's, yeah, I don't think that would work. Let me see. Oh, let me put elixir.png. Ah, here we go. All right. Now I got to find the OBS. Let's see, which one do we want? Well, that one works. I'm fine with that. Let's put it down here. I think you'll be able to see it. I don't know. That's not very clear. I guess I could put it up here. Make it smaller. Let the door feature it. There we go. That works. You know, and when I say I'm not really. I mean, Elixir, technically an Elixir artist, but really all that does is generate. I get a free box of strings, so I get like 12 pack of strings every year. So every year they ask me. Oh yeah, the church service is always streamed. Yeah, yeah. And you'll see. Generally, you'll see Alex and me playing. Let me see. I think if you go. Let me just check here. 1 second. And the times, our time, 6 p.m. on Saturday, 9 and 11 on Sunday. And I'm almost always there. I rarely take weekends off. Let's see. Oh, Shepherd. Let's see. Where's the live button? That's a journey I don't know about. Watch. Here it is. Okay, let's see if it's this. Videos. I mean, no, those are sermons. Yeah. I see it says we're live in 8 hours, 7 minutes. What? What's today? No, there's nothing live today. That's weird. Okay. Sorry. I'm just trying to find the link. It was called like live.shepherd.com or shepherdchurch.com. But here's the home page. So you can bookmark this. 6 o'clock, and you're going to want to be right at 6 o'clock because we start dead on 6 o'clock. Or 9 o'clock. Oops, let me get rid of this big bright page. Or 9 o'clock Sunday morning or 11 o'clock. And Alex and I are usually playing together. This weekend, Alex is gone. And Saturday, Brandon Aram is going to play because he's a bit of an Ableton expert, which is a software we use, and it's going to be a song that may need to be adjustments made to it, or it may need to be fixed or set up or something, and Brandon can do that. And then on Sunday, Quist is going to play and sub for Alex because Brandon plays at a different campus. Quist is a YouTuber, got about 400,000 subscribers. We're going to do a video at some point. And he does jam tracks, and he's a very good guitar player. And he played a couple weeks ago at Shepherd, and it went really well. He was a good guy. We've become quick friends. And like I said, we may do something together. I may interview him for my channel. You know, and in fact, you know what I might do if Paul... Now, I don't think Paul Davids will... We'll see if Paul and I do another video, okay? I would love to interview him for my channel, and that would be interesting. I think I would ask a lot of good questions. I probably would tell him to send me questions to ask. But my channel is not very big, so he's not going to make a special trip out here to do that. But if he was already out here to do another video with me, then maybe maybe we would I could do a video where I ask him some questions or whatever, 20 questions with Paul David. That's a lot of questions. And then I have to edit that. So it probably wouldn't, it'd be like, Paul would be like, "Hey, where's that video dropping?" And 6 months later, it's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta edit that thing." So I don't know. But Quist, I think, would be an easy interview. But it'd be fascinating to kind of hear how his career is a good chunk of his career is the jam tracks. And I will tell you, like when I pull up my YouTube thing here, my jam tracks are often top. I have 2 or 3 jam tracks in the top views. Let's see, views of all time. Jam track, first one shows up number 6. And then probably 12 or 13. 130,000 views. But if I go to my most recent, like analytics, let's see, is that the most, will it show the most recent? Yeah. 7 tips. Yeah, jam track is number 3. People still bookmark that thing. Number 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 9. I mean, I've gotten 53 views of that one. So blue and A. So people are practicing an A, G at 110, and here's one. I mean, so 120 and 100. I should do another one of those. The drag about doing those is that that I have to wait a week because it'll trigger the algorithm that I copied something or that it's copyrighted material, and I'm like literally I'll play it. I'll do 2 guitars. I'll kind of make them play different things. I may even throw a mandolin in there or something like that, upright bass, put a drum in there to play, have a beat going. And I don't know if the latest ones I got rid of the drums, but yeah, it's just funny. I should do D or C. C might be a good key. I don't know. Let me look and see. Sorry, I just closed that window. Oh, no, I didn't. Content. Here we go. Bluegrass. Okay, show all. 47. Holy cow. Oh, I do have a bluegrass jam track in C. And it's gotten 20,000 views, which isn't horrible. But my top one is the 100. It's gotten 300,000 views. 368, which is pretty good. Now Quist gets a lot of views of his, and he was really smart. He'll play one time through so you can see like something, and then he lets the jam track go on, and so it's another 6 minutes or so, and everything's like 5 or 6 minutes. So yeah, I would subscribe to him. I don't know if he ever does a live thing. Let me go to YouTube. Let me get you his first channel. Boom, 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 boom. Is it literally under his Quist guitar? Slow blues. Quist. There it is. Yeah. So here's his channel. I think this is right. Someone open this and tell me I got it right. Hey, we got people showing up again. Sorry, because I kept talking. Super nice guy. He just did a new one 8 days ago. Let's see. He's got, how many subscribers? Oh, no, 344,000. For some reason, I thought he had, yeah, he's got 2,100 videos, though. That's crazy. And his total spin count? 191 million spins. Okay, how many do I have? If I go to time. And most of them, like half of mine are from 7 tips. So let's see my page, my channel. Here we are. All right. 12 million. Okay, still nowhere near Quist level, but 12 million is not bad. 12 million views. Some of those are jam tracks. Thanks, AJ. Yeah, so if you're looking for fun jam tracks, those are great ones for blues and jazzy stuff and rock and things like that. I think he wants me to do like a worship one, which is funny because he's kind of pigeonholed me as a worship guitar player, and it's like I definitely do that on the weekends, but I don't ever do it during the week. I don't think I've ever played on a worship album in my life. I've written worship songs with Justin Bieber, but I've not done a worship album. I've written a lot of worship songs back in the day, back in the 90s. I was writing them all the time. I had one published. I think I still make a little bit of money on it, like literally paper published, like in a book. And I still get like, I'll get like 3 cents every year or something from it. So keep in mind, that's where money used to be generated from for music. Like before they had radio and TV or any of that stuff, publishers, you made money. It was a real thing. And so, you have a song on a song in a book, a songbook or something like that. That's where the money came from. Hymns in particular, I know that Fanny Crosby, she wrote 8,000 hymns or something, or 2,000, I forget, an insane amount. She was blind basically from birth. She donated all of her royalties to the poor, and she was poor. She was poor as dirt. And her most famous hymn was "Blessed Assurance," which she wrote the lyrics, and another lady wrote the melody, the music. And blessed assurance, da, 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 da. I mean, I haven't done that in a church in decades. But the lady that co-wrote it with her husband was president of MetLife. So they were millionaires back like 150 years ago, more than that. Like they were, like worth a fortune in New York City. And here her co-writer is taking all that money that she's making from the song and her biggest hit, whatever, and giving it to the poor. So, and Fanny and her husband lived with the poor. They had a child who died, I think. That was all they had, An amazingly tragic life, and yet never once did this lady complain. In fact, she thought, she always said, hey, I've never, the first face I'll see is Jesus's face. And I thought that's amazing. She said that, I think, when she was 7. Like she wrote a poem, and she goes, I feel bad for people that can see. That's what she said. It's amazing. She's amazing. Talking about screenplays, I tried to write a screenplay about her. I've talked about this before. I tried to write a screenplay for her, but it's really, really hard when you have a life that's that big. I mean, she was personal friends with 6 different presidents. She sang at 6 presidential funerals. I don't know if there's any footage of Fanny Crosby. When did she die? (1915). Is there any video of her? She looked very stern. I don't hold that against her. I don't hold anything against her. Fanny Crosby. I mean, it would be hard to find video of her. But I think she actually was instrumental in School for the Blind in New York, because she was testified before Congress multiple times saying that blind people aren't retarded; they're just blind. They can work. They can have normal, relatively normal lives. I don't know if she had anything to do with Braille. I forget, but there's a connection there as well. But she did speak before Congress. But yeah, trying to do a video on her life would be really, really tough. Or do a movie on her life would be really, really tough. Like you have to choose a section. You can't do the whole life. It would be you could do a mini series, and that might be the way to go. But yeah, I should pitch it to Angel Studios. Someone's going to steal my idea right now. But yeah, that would be a major undertaking to try to do a story of her life. I think it would take at least 6-hour episodes to do the whole life. She was born sighted, but it was a doctor that blinded her when she was a baby. I mean, it's just like, really? Yeah. She had a fever or something, and he put a poultice on her eyes to cool her down or something, and it had like something in it that blinded, like mustard something. I forget. Oh, yeah, it's a brutal. Anyway, where is everybody? I see the numbers, but nobody's commenting. Am I that spellbinding, or are you all watching other things? You're all watching Quist now, just keeping me up, right? You're jamming along with Quist, and you just have me in the corner there. I'm just talking like, oh, okay, AJ's listening. Okay, all right. So 2 of you are three of you. 3 of you are there. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna take off. Let me Sam, I'll do that. So go to the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord group, I'll Tom's lessons and PDFs. I'll drag it up there. I'll do a screen. I'll create it, do a screen grab, and put it up there. Oh wow. So yeah. He started a channel quite a while ago. He lives in obviously lives in LA, but he's from Denmark. Lived in London for like 20 years, and he's been here for like 10 years. And his 3 kids, his oldest daughter still has a little bit of a British accent, but the other kids are like totally American. So anyway, all right, you guys, God bless you. Thank you so much. And yeah, he's here on an artist visa. So he's able to stay. His wife's Scottish, so he's able to stay here. But yeah. We will talk soon, and I'll see you next Monday, Lord willing. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you all. Yeah, and I'll look into that. You called it. I have it here. Hold on. Fretboard diagram, neck diagrams. Okay, I'll even email it to myself so that I don't. So I've got some record of it. It probably would make my life easier, but I would probably have to get the Pro, sadly. Although if I could use the basic, I could get the basic, the cheapest one, and do screen grabs. If they don't, it's like, well, you can't save it. And if you do a screen grab, if it bastardizes it somehow, that would be a drag. If I can upgrade to Pro for just the difference, like if it's $19 and it's $109, if I have to pay $90 more to get it, get the Pro, then I, get the gist of it and see if I can use it, then I might do that. So, but thanks everyone. Yeah, and we'll work on the sweep thing. Just kind of work on that. Try to watch this video, maybe, and again, just little baby ones. I love that C minor lick. That's kind of the gypsy thing. That's a super cool one, and I think you could probably get that down. You could do it with major or minor chords, but yeah, anyway, work on that. We'll see you next week. Sorry about the advanced stuff. I know like most of my subscribers are all beginners, and I appreciate that. Sometimes I just have to go back to my roots of my YouTube channel, which was originally called Pro Guitar Secrets, and where I was trying to kind of give away all the stuff that I knew. So I'm still giving it away. All right. God bless you. Diminished the same amount of budget, just a flat 5. Yeah, that's right. Exactly.